Hello, traders. Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com. Sunday, the 5th of January, 2025. In this edition of your weekend video newsletter, we'll discuss the reversal last week and rejection at 59.50, the volatility trigger. In addition, we'll discuss the 4 charts that suggest a follow-through is imminent, with 9 bullish indicators, 5 neutral, and 6 bearish to start Monday trading. With the S&P 500 closing above Thursday's high, just shy of the 50-day, we start Monday with a bullish bias. In addition, junk bonds show traders have a risk-on appetite as we start to move back above the 200-day, trying to attack the 50-day overhead, with RSI rising and MACD crossing. We also saw the New York FANG components moving higher. While they did close mixed, the majority moved higher and back above the 21-day and 90 MA to start this week, with RSI above 50. And with those 10 stocks, it's no surprise the Qs are still above the 50-day moving average. With tech stocks leading, we still need value stocks to kick in. We had energy last week, and financials and industrials started to show some strength as well, which affected the S&P Equal Weight Index, removing the weight of those tech stocks from the New York FANG. Most importantly, though, the number of stocks above the 20-day is moving off of the oversold zone. When we get into the green area, we start to look for a bounce and a follow-through. We can see the number of stocks above the 50-day are also turning from oversold conditions, suggesting we could see a follow-through in this higher low printed last week. Finally, as we look for more value stocks to kick in, breadth is improving across the board. S&P 500 in the top panel, mid caps, small caps, and NASDAQ in descending order, with the NASDAQ at the bottom, suggesting from this oversold condition, like back in April, that we could see a follow-through and a move higher in the markets over the short term. Having already mentioned junk bonds moving higher, these indicators, together with biotechs, IWM small caps, Bitcoin, and advanced decline turning higher, these all suggest a follow-through is imminent in the short term. While many indicators are turning bullish, we still have some bearish indicators or headwinds for U.S. equities in the short term. 10-year yield is at highs, as well as the U.S. dollar. Now, there are some analysts that anticipate because the dollar is strong, that will attract money from international markets in the short term. That's left to be seen. For now, though, the U.S. dollar has made new highs. Finally, there are commodities that are moving higher and are bullish for commodity traders, but are a headwind for U.S. equities as Brent continues to move higher, along with West Texas crude and gasoline, while the Deutsche Bank Commodities Index remains right at the 200-day moving average. If this starts to move higher, that would also put increased pressure on U.S. equities. So there are negatives, but mostly positives going into Monday trading. Most sectors are turning more bullish, with biotechs coming off the lows, real estate, transports. Semiconductors held up very well, while energy shows a lot of strength, moving back above its 20-day moving average. We're expecting many of those stocks that followed through last week, like Constellation Energy, ConocoPhillips, Apache, and Schlumberger, to be joined by other names like Diamondback Energy, EOG, Devon, among others. Watch for follow-through in energy, financials, and industrials this week. Technology is back above its 50-day moving average, and consumer discretionary bounced off its 50-day as well. Finally, if we look for institutions to give us guidance going forward, look no further than outperformance of consumer discretionary versus consumer staples. When this indicator moves higher, that's bullish for equities, as institutions don't show any signs of concern going into January and a new presidency. For this week, you'll notice that there's a lot more stocks populating the IPD 50 watch list, and scans that we put together, coupled with stocks that were already trading over the last couple of weeks, from energy to technology. With many of these stocks from the IBD 50 pulling back over the last few weeks, moving back above the 50-day moving average on volume, MACD and stochastics suggesting higher prices in the short term. Watch for AGX to follow through. The same holds for stocks like Robinhood, consolidating for the last few weeks after a trend that started back in August. Look for a breakout as MACD and stochastics suggest a move higher, volume above average on Thursday and Friday. Palantir was a stock we suggested starting on Friday, looking for a follow-through. If we do move higher on Monday, we'll move our stop from Friday's low up under Monday's low and look for higher prices as stochastics is starting to turn. Volume needs to pick up, so this is more risky than Robinhood per se, but is still trending above its 21-day moving average since early summer. NVIDIA also rose back above its 50-day moving average. We're looking for a test of that upper Bollinger Band, and then these previous pivots at 146.50 and 152.80 in the short term as RSI points the way. Volume increasing on Thursday and Friday. MACD and stochastics are both bullish. Finally, we have Tesla, not on the IBD 50, but worthy of note because of the huge move that we saw on Friday. We're looking for a follow-through this week. RSI back above 50. Looking for stochastics and MACD to turn and for volume to pick up. Most likely, we had a lot of shorts covering on Friday. So while we do look for a follow-through, we need to see confirmation for any day trades and short-term swings over the next several days. I would suggest looking through some of these stocks that have stochastics oversold from the IBD 50, looking for a follow-through this week. Many of them look very strong. Dutch Brothers, Hut from the Bitcoin Miners Group, Hims and Hers looking for a follow-through this week. Lunar, Lemonade, IBKR, MTSI, Make My Trip looking for travel and leisure stocks to continue. MRX, On Holdings, Natera, NVIDIA, Reddit. Just look for these stocks to follow through this week. And look for us to insert many of these into the watch list, which we'll publish and send you via email later tonight. Okay, traders, that's going to do it for me. This is Cousin Vinny coming to you from theclosingprint.com with your weekend video newsletter for Sunday, the 5th of January, 2025. Again, I'll send out a watch list later tonight around 12 midnight on the East Coast, around 9 o'clock on the West Coast, so be sure to check your inbox for that later tonight. Have a great weekend. What's left of it, take care, and we'll see you in the morning. Take care.